This video contains major spoilers for Persona 5 Royal. The 11th card in the tarot deck. Number 10, Fortune. It represents luck, fate, and change. In the Persona series, Fortune is usually associated with an adept person who has, for various reasons, lost their way. They give themselves up to the flow of fate. That is no different for Persona 5. The Fortune Arcana is that of Chihaya Mifune. I'm Ouroboros. Let's talk. If you missed my video on the Fool's Journey, I would recommend that you watch it before jumping into this series. It goes over the Fool's Journey and gives a brief rundown of each of the major arcana, so go check it out. Anyway, like I said earlier, the Fortune Arcana usually reflects a character who has allowed their life to go astray. They had previously shown a lot of promise in their respective interests, but through unfortunate circumstances, have given themselves up to the cruel and unflinching whims of fate. They have lost control of themselves and resigned to whatever the world gives them. While the Persona series abbreviates the Fortune Arcana, it is typically called the Wheel of Fortune, which I feel is more fitting and more concrete than just fortune itself. On the tarot card itself, we see many different symbols. The angel, eagle, bull, and lion represent Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John from Christianity. All of them have wings, almost as if to signify their angelic forms in heaven. Each of them is each reading a book, which, interestingly, is supposed to be the Torah and not the Christian Bible. There are 3 additional creatures along the wheel itself: a sphinx, a snake, and what is most likely Anubis, the Egyptian god of the dead, or what could also be interpreted as the devil. Sphinxes are known for their wisdom, so it and Anubis circle the wheel perpetually. As one rises, the other falls. A cycle of perfect unity. It is perfectly balanced, as all things should be. This is where the Fool learns that the universe works in perfect harmony, the good and the bad. There can be no elation without depression. The two are one and the same and must always exist alongside each other. The Wheel of Fortune helps the Fool understand his fate within the world. That glimpse within the cyclical nature of the world expands his worldview as he continues along his journey. Despite what some of us think, fate is not necessarily good or bad. The universe doesn't have some grand scheme for us. Fortune is just that. It just exists alongside all of us. While we can look for meaning with it, the greatest fortune that the Fool can discover is that it is cyclical. The good times always give way to the bad, and the bad times eventually lead into the good ones. Now, many Persona characters have meanings of the Arcana cards beautifully woven into their stories, sometimes overtly, others a little more subtly. Chihaya is pretty obvious. I mean, come on, she's a fortune teller. Of course she's gonna fall under the Fortune Arcana. I sometimes wonder if Atlas designs the characters and then tries to weave their stories around the tarot cards, or if they start with the tarot cards and then decide on the characters. I can honestly see it going either way, but Chihaya does lean into more typical fortune aspects outside of the obvious. For one, I genuinely enjoy that her confidant is one that kind of gets introduced before it actually starts. You meet her in Shinjuku with Ryuji, where she proclaims that he's gonna have relationship trouble soon. Granted, we all know how that plays out, but we also see her progressively get better and better at telling fortunes, and hear that they always come true. Because of her accuracy, she is convinced that fate cannot be changed. The Wheel of Fortune is absolute, and no mortal man can change what is coming. And that's true until she meets you, the trickster, someone who defies convention. See, Joker is special. It's clear that he's just built different than the other characters. But I feel that this confidant has a much more unique take on how and why he's so vital to the story of every confidant. He's important to Chihaya because he directly challenges her entire worldview and is able to prove, through sheer willpower and determination, that her concepts are wrong. That even in the face of overwhelming odds, that people can change their own fate. And that idea is what the confidant is built upon. It's Chihaya slowly accepting that she is in control of her life, and it is not dictated by the Wheel of Fortune. You can imagine what the reversed meanings of the Fortune Arcana are. Misfortune, obviously, but also a lack of control, or even trying to hold on to whatever little control you once had, a lack of adaptation, external events having too much control over your life, everything that Chihaya is facing both before and after we meet her. She didn't choose to be ostracized by her hometown, but she made the choice to move to Tokyo in search of a better life, only to be scooped up by the ADP chairman and forced to scam people. That is her real misfortune. Yes, she shouldn't have ever had to leave her home. However, if she had met someone other than Chairman Fukurai, someone like Joker, she probably wouldn't have ever had to resort to such underhanded tactics. It's such a series of unfortunate events that lead her into living an unfulfilling and even at times miserable life. Her fortune-telling was already spot on, and we can see this throughout the confidant that she has plenty of clients. There was no need to sell the fake holy stones, but of course she eventually stands up to the chairman and yada yada yada. You could see where this was going from the start. It was pretty obvious that she was gonna stand up for herself and do the right thing. The biggest plot twist was really seeing her country accent slip through, but I digress. One thing that I was sad to see is that she doesn't really change that much in the third semester. I guess she's not a party member and doesn't really have any close relationships with the Phantom Thieves outside of Joker. She does seem to be semi-aware of Maruki's reality, making comments about how everyone seems so happy, but there really isn't much outside of that. I think it could have been really interesting to see if maybe she had heard from people back home and they had apologized for their actions. Granted, that would have been hard to implement for all of the characters because Atlas was kind of working with limited time slots in the third semester. Maybe if we had an additional month or so, they could have fleshed out some of the other confidants a little more, but I'd say her story, at least as it was related to the Arcana, was wrapped up nice and neatly in the base game. She started as someone who was trapped by fate. Even though she locked herself in that cage, she was trapped nonetheless. She had no control over her life, and believed that fate was absolute, that no one could change it. Then along came Joker, and through his work as the trickster, showed her that fate can in fact be changed. It's the perfect, slow evolution of the Wheel of Fortune. Chihaya's eventual acceptance of the imperfection of destiny, and the slow regain of control over her own life, is the culmination of her journey as the Wheel of Fortune of Persona 5. Thanks for watching.